Okay. We'll click the
Okay,
button.
maybe. Yes, maybe. Okay, so guys, after all of that, the story seems to be that, and our Sylvia, are
Oh,
we
looks like it's working now. Is it working now? Okay. We'll click
okay? But we got two. But let's go. Okay, so yes, maybe. Okay, so
the... Let
guys,
us know if you guys can see us and hear us.
after all of
Okay,
that,
see you. There we go.
okay,
Yay!
this is
There we
attempt
are.
number
Woohoo!
8, I guess.
Yes. Yes.
So what happened is we had so to use the streaming software we have a code, and the code we used yesterday or the last time
Yes.
we
That's where we want
streamed
to be.
was the one that we'd used for several months, but it was linked to the last video we did, which was the predictions. But the software changed and became new, and it kind of corrupted the idea of that, we think. And so, yes, last time we did a live, it created a second version that people weren't on, so we had to migrate them. Fine. We spent the last 25 minutes trying to sort this, guys, because all the things we need to do, we did, and nothing happened. But then, Stuart, and this is new,
Yes.
guys, and I was able to activate a stream based on the old stream key, which was on for about 10 seconds, which you might have seen. So I say, okay, I'm going to go to the new stream key. We've done right, ready for this thing. Great. I turn it on. Nothing happens. And then I'm on the thing. And right at the top of the right-hand corner, it says, you're ready to go. Do you want to go live? And there's a new button which says live.
And now
And
it says end stream.
and so
Okay.
without
Okay.
any prompting, even though I was going to do a live on a different live without a separate button, this new live in a new thing needs a new button that we didn't know about. That only because I saw a prompt, it said go live. So now there's another button, Stuart.
Well, at least we figured it out. So next time it will be on point.
And luckily, it took us 25, 26 minutes, but only 17 minutes for you guys. So, whoo!
Apologize. We're back. Anyway, yes. Welcome, guys. So I'm glad Samuel figured that out. Thank you.
Stupid.
You are the Chief O'Brien of Trekyards.
Well,
Even though you're more the Bashir, I'm the Chief O'Brien. But
it should
anywho,
tell us, you know? Goodness. Hello, everybody.
guys.
We did it.
I guess we don't need to do the buffer time joke like we started because we've had 17 minutes of buffer time for these poor people that have been waiting.
And that was the first joke I made, and I left, and then we only realised we weren't live when I left for about 2 minutes. So the joke is now just the truth. The truth
Yes.
is the joke. So Stuart, read the super chats that came in, tip
Yes.
the wonderful people, and I'll start sharing because we did it. Woo!
Okay, start sharing. I'll read the super chats. Tanushi throws in €2. I did say the captain's a domineering tryhard. Okay. Ozzy Maderos, $5. Today's episode is brought to you by Foley Buffer Time. Okie dokie, skeleton hands. Not a band account, joined the channel at the rank of commander. Welcome, commander. Olivia Julius, $5. Samuel had a good run, but in the end, the most important person in Trekyards is Olivia Julius. Hit the like button, everyone. Yes, everybody hit the like button. 92 people watching, 63 likes. We can do better than that. I do like some of the new layout that they have for this new thing, but anywho. Congrats, you look like an effing scratching post is now a member at the rank of commander. Welcome back, Jill. Rum Truffler is a new member at the rank of commander, so thank you very much to you. Fleetpaw Swiftback, $2, 52 likes. Too many effing buttons again at 100. So yeah, if we can get 100 likes with 96 people here, I'm sure we can do it. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Come on, we got 67 likes. Let's go. Let's get up to 75 at least. We can do that. Axel Foley has joined the channel at the rank of captain. It's funny, we were just talking about you, Axel Foley, outside. Sylvia's mom was visiting and talking about people with last name Foley, and she brought up Axel Foley, and is that fucking Foley in here? Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Welcome, Axel Foley. Clay Williams, $2. Just got a job, and so I can afford to do this now. So thank you very much, Clay, and congratulations on your new job. Yeah, let us know what kind of job in the chat. Sylvia was asking, so there you go. Not a band account puts in $5. Alan Moraine, count to 4. Alan Moraine, then 3 more. Alan Moraine, if you can see Alan Moraine, you'll come with me.
Oh God. I mean, there's probably gonna be an Alan Moraine joke at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not against that. And bit like Mariner's Mariner ends up being, Boimler ends up being the greatest Alan Moraine player of all time.
Yeah.
The guy's like,
For Strategium.
yes. It turns out he's not good at it. He's just like, his brain is so wired that he can just do it. He doesn't know how. It's to close his brain. See that would be a good Alan Moraine bring back. Yeah.
Oh, nothing is a good Alan Moraine to bring back,
but when you want to see
Casey.
those four main people in the Alan Moraine a remaster version of the game board, those four, because it'd be nice to see them do a full episode together. Don't know if we're gonna get that for a bit, but that'd be good.
So Clay's new job is he's working at Lowe's as a sales associate.
Anywhere local can get us a discount.
Lowe's is amazing. If you're local to London, you can get us a discount.
Which London?
Ontario, the only one that matters.
Oh.
Tom Casey. Well, yours mattered back in Victorian times when Sherlock Holmes was a thing. Now it doesn't matter. Tom Casey, $5. Yay, you're on. You're the man. Samuel, love this episode. My favorite so far.
Ooh. Strong words.
This is probably my favorite out of the three so far as well. But they're all kind of different animals. So, it's kind of hard to say.
It is. But what isn't hard to say is another one of Rise's great comments. He says, be honest. You guys were drinking margaritas during those 17 minutes, weren't you? While we were left waiting.
I wish we were.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yes.
I like it.
All right, well, thank you everybody for the great support and sticking with us through all that. We got lots of great super chats. So.
Oh my God, Axel Foley! Wow, a celebrity joined as captain. I mean,
well,
wow.
You missed it because literally like 20 minutes before the live even started, Sylvia's mom was visiting. We were talking about people named with the last name Foley, and she brought up Axel Foley. And of course, we had to quote with the best line from that movie: "Is that fucking Foley in here?" Where the chief of police comes into the locker room and is pissed. So,
I mean, cool.
Detroit chief.
Actually, it's kind of funny because you have Eddie Murphy then, Black Eddie Murphy, and I have Samuel L. Jackson. So each are famous in a small way. Not that it makes much sense, but hey, Stuart, we're back. Everyone should go, not right now because you're watching this review, but go watch our other review of this episode, which includes a brand new 3D intro.
Featuring the Cerritos.
I mean, is it worth putting that up?
Yes, you should play that for them now.
Oh.
Get it ready while I read David Besson's
Yes.
$10 super chat. Thank you very much, David. I tried third week now. My brain short circuits when I try to watch this. I know they are not making fun of Trek, but it's too far gone for me. I think the references are so in your face, it's cringy. Well, I mean, it's not for everybody, so I feel bad about that because I recommended you check it out, but
As did I.
Appreciate the super chat anyway.
But as I said on Messenger, it's like, you also love Enterprise as your favourite. So your brain works differently than most fans. Not in a good or bad way, just,
Yeah.
you like certain things in Trek. They're different for
And
everybody.
Reese says it was a gorgeous intro. We are blessed. So there you go.
Wow.
Some high praise.
Yeah, that's been in the works for a little bit, actually.
Yeah.
It was going to be done last week, but it just couldn't be. It was barely not enough time.
Has to be perfect. It's fine.
Well, it has to be done.
Well, that too.
Okay, is that going to play? No, never done VLC source before. Play it?
Don't mess up the live stream.
No, I'll just play a window. It should work, shouldn't it? Oh, actually, no, I can just load it into Premiere, can't I? It'd be easier, wouldn't it? And there's another thing coming out very, very soon, guys. Custom. You know I'll send custom stuff. We like that fancy. But do go look at it full screen on the other video to get the full screen experience. But here is it going to be beautifully in the chat. Wish I thought of this a minute or so ago, but
Luke Celeste puts in $10 Canadian. Says, Sam, your intro, love it.
Well,
so there you go.
Bit of extra. I mean, how many other YouTube channels have this? But there she is in animated glory. Well, are you ready to see her in animated glory?
Yes.
Just different animation.
Yes.
There we go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
And I'm Connor Guns. That'll make sense. Look it. Wait, match your face, Stuart.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, you'll notice in a second.
Oh. I don't know if I can. David Bessick throws in another $5. And to be clear, I am glad there are people who enjoy this, and I think that is a good thing. Yes, my brain is very oddly wired. LOL. Glad you guys like it.
Yeah.
I've been loving it so far. It's fun. I finish an episode and I feel good about having watched it. So.
And a slight sense of remorse that they got to wait the next full week.
Yeah.
You know, just like, ah. Exactly. It's like the idea of, you know, once you have Christmas, you realize it's 365 days till Christmas again.
Yep.
This is the further through Christmas. It's on Boxing Day. But yeah, there's the new intro, guys. Thank you to modelling team of Trekyards that got the Cerritos done. I managed texture and such, and fun to see in real 3D motion. And the corridor, I was very keen to get the corridor done as well, and that was me pushing my boundaries when it comes to internal CGI. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And they'll be coming on other videos. And there's another video hopefully coming this weekend that'll be even fancier. Even fancier.
Fleet Paw Swiftback, $2. Beautiful intro.
Yeah.
Thank you. Tez Angari says, look, those 4 cutouts on the lower part of the Cerritos saucer appear to be the shuttle bays.
I mean, they've got windows in them. And it's weird. But maybe. Possibly. Inconclusive. And hopefully you guys once you see the other work this weekend, you'll have a you'll be able to make up your mind more appropriately if you like the ship or not, because just as you've said many a time, holding it is a whole different way of appreciating it, but seeing it in 3D with other things is definitely gonna change your opinion. And you might like it less, that's okay, but you know, at least you get to see it.
You might like it more. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and let's see. Not a Band account puts in $1.99. It says, have we checked Commander Cockings for a black badge?
Well, I've got Brett's black badge. Hey. Sorry, we're trying to show us nipples or the badge there. I couldn't tell.
The nipples, they're a little bit cold.
Okay, one was subtle, one was subtle, and one was the nipples. Yeah. See, we're having fun tonight, guys. See, this sort of content, as in Lower Decks, we always have a unique sort of fun. You know, it's a positive sort of thing. Even if you know there are zombie plagues where they eat and become a cannibal. Although, as someone pointed out, technically speaking, if he didn't eat any humans, he's not a cannibal.
That's true. Just attack the alien crew members.
Yep.
Matthew K puts in $20, so thank you very much. Before Lower Decks started, I was saying modern Trek feels like being in an abusive relationship. Each new show had me thinking, maybe they won't hurt me this time. It's nice, the new show that just loves me for me.
That's actually a nice comment. Yeah. It's like, I know you like old Trek. I know you like old Trek shows and series and history. You know what? This one's for you. And it's just like, oh. And I do think, though, that it not being international distribution, you know, we've noticed lower views, we've noticed whatever. But if only 2 countries in the world can see it, that's going to drastically... Sure. But that's
the one best country and America.
And America, yeah. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that is tens of millions of people that otherwise would hope... Like, you know, I see a lot of YouTubers that comment negatively, but then in their comments, it's positive. Or, like, Giant Freaking Robot did an article saying some negative stuff, and most of the comments are positive. At least the ones I scrolled, you know, the 10, 15, 20. It's like, people seem to like it. YouTubers don't like it as much, which is odd. But I think if it did actually have international distribution, it'd be seen by more people and embraced more, because it's such a small amount of people that can see it. And also behind the paywall.
132 people are here watching us right now, which is fantastic. We have 83 likes. We can easily get to 100 likes.
I'm going to click like. There, I click like. There you
guys, we need 16 more likes, because he just clicked and it just went up.
I did.
So 15 more likes. Let's do it. hit the like button.
Do it. Do it.
Olivia Julius, $5.
Thank
And before we did our little like thing there, she says, "Do you want a pair of socks with Stewart's face on them? Of course you do. Or a Trekyard shower curtain. Come to our Teespring store. We have these things."
It's true.
It's very true.
Do you want to get a shirt with Stuart's face on it? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Just a big face. Yeah. Okay, Stuart. So let's get onto the actual discussion then, with all of you that are joining. So, Stuart, what is your overall thoughts of Lower Decks episode 3? Now, you always say it's probably your favourite,
Yes.
which is a bit of a giveaway, but that's okay. Thoughts, comments, and guys, do super chat anything. We'd love to get some for this. It's been a slow week, so yeah, Stuart, what do you think?
Yeah, well, this was a fun-paced episode. I love seeing more of Commander Ransom and seeing some of the senior staff. I think that's important because I kind of had an opinion about him from before this. This kind of changed that. It's also messed with my expectations for the characters because
Yes.
I was looking forward to Tindy. I was pretty sure she was going to be my favorite. She's kind of fallen into a lull, but I'm sure there's going to be an episode based around her, which is fine. But she's not grabbing my attention like I thought she would. And Mariner, who I didn't like first episode, super impressed me with this one, and she's now one of my favorite characters in the show. So kudos to them for changing my mind. This one felt like it could have been an episode of any Star Trek series, and the jokes were toned down a bit. It was more cleverly written, I think. I liked the interpersonal relationship between her and or Mariner and Ransom. That's going to be interesting to see where that goes. But I didn't see that coming. I really didn't.
But could we have the caveat though? It's cleverly written, but with some stupid plot points.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Like the good is good, but the worse is worse this week.
Yeah.
Because the way you said that, it sounded as if it's the best cleverly written, but I would say it's probably the least clever of the three in terms of the big plot points, but it's the conceit of what how many feature films have things like why they do that and you sort of move past it. It's not a good thing, but you can accept it.
I think this was the funnest one for me to watch though, so
okay.
I don't know.
See, the first one for me was the funnest, but I was fine with the pace.
I'm sorry, Tendy, not Tindy.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess I say it wrong because you say it wrong.
Yeah. SWTX Chaser, $2.
Thank you.
Got some perk foo. Oh yeah, we got a lot of the double axe handles and double fist punch and some good stuff there.
Yeah, they've got some clever stuff in there. Yeah, I mean the characters are tricky because we have with this show with Lower Decks, we've already got a certain esteem. Those that enjoy it have got a certain esteem for it. We expect more. You look at 3 episodes in of Discovery, we barely knew Tilly, we already hated Burnham, we didn't know Giorgio, we didn't know Saru, and no one else was important. So by 3 episodes in, you know what I mean, a way less cast. We didn't even think about it. They didn't care about their cast. Picard, we did like the 2 Romulans. Good job. Picard we liked, but then we liked him less as it went on because he became less Picard. And we did like the First Lady, then she died, and we didn't like the Second Lady as much. We definitely didn't like Narek or Narissa. So they're doing a lot better in 3 episodes already, but it's because we're already high hopesing it that we're saying, I wish Tindy had more, but it's because it's actually a character-based show, and they're picking people for each episode to focus on, which haven't had her storyline yet, which is a shame, given her first scene, but you got to think of it as percentage. It's like they're building each person, but I think next week maybe like Mariner and her, maybe more, or the one after. I don't know, but I definitely want to see a full dedication episode with her.
Yeah. Dan Lakey puts in £10.
Oh, thank you.
Nomad slyly appears in the first scene with Lower Decks with Mariner. Yeah, true. We pointed that out. Today I've discovered Mariner was used as Nomad's original name. Oh. So could the name Mariner in Lower Decks be a reference to this? I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. I know the people that created this really know their Trek and enjoy it, so yeah. Yeah,
deep stuff. But can we do a quick poll? Now 146 people watching, which is brilliant. Put in the chat now, did you like, dislike, meh, the episode? Just a
4
general.
more likes, by the way.
Yes, that too. So yeah, like, dislike, meh. Meh is anything between kind of like a 4 and a 7, and like is kind of the top bit. Let us know. Just spam the channel right now with like, dislike, meh.
And Martin Pelt puts in 10
Oh,
euros.
thank you.
Now that Star Trek season has started, will you still have time to watch and review Stargate seasons? Lower Decks seems to be getting better, but would be nice to hear your thoughts on the good old SG-1. Well, I'll still be watching it. As for us reviewing it, maybe we can slip 1 or 2 in during the course of the new Trek season, but we'll have to see. It could be afterwards. We could do like a Stargate week special or something.
I mean, it was never the plan to do them all. I mean, you burned through them quicker than I thought you were going to. We were going to do at the end of season 7 or 8. Really, what was never intended to be a major thing, and now you're like season 6. You don't remember half of seasons 3, 4, 5, and 6. It wouldn't be useful to do that really, because you can't possibly remember them if you burn through them in such a way. But I can sort of quiz you more on generalities of those 7 seasons. I mean, where are you up to now then? Since you super chatted.
Did we just start season 6 of SG-1?
Well,
Yep.
Okay. So is Jonas there yet?
Yeah, we're learning about Anubis right now.
Ooh, good old Anubis. What a dick.
He's not an old bus. He's a new bus.
I mean, that doesn't deserve a super chat for the absolute quality.
But okay, so Demas Alves, $5. The best episode so far, in my opinion. The O'Brien reference right at the end brought the biggest smile to my face.
And what's nice is that you can appreciate why he's so talented. It's like if you had him or Worf, both ones are like massive legacy characters that have been in so much, have done so much for the world, Star Trek world.
Yeah.
Although a brief comment, as it's well written, Marco says, "I'm disappointed in some YouTubers/reviewers because for me that is based on reason. So once a quality Trek arrives, I would hope they'd acknowledge it, but it seems to just follow their narrative." Yes, that seems to be part of the.
They don't want to admit they've been wrong because they.
Well, they don't want to admit they like it, or they're so dwelling on the negative, which is sad.
And Luke Celeste, $5. Kirk
Thank
Fu and torn up shirt. Yes. And it's a like for me. Love how Mariner's like surrounded by spears. What is this 2260? Am I Kirk? Am I right?
I mean, there's got to be something specific here with. Now, we said this in our other review, and I think I might have edited it out because it was going a bit long, but clearly they wrote the series Bible with these characters in mind, so they know who they are. Discovery clearly not, Picard somewhat, but didn't really matter as much. And do you really care? So and you said this, especially in the first episode, you would acknowledge that Mariner, she's annoying, too much important, but clearly she had a lot of rank before that. I still don't buy her. I still don't buy the age thing, but if she's making all these references, specific, I mean, she keeps referencing all the absolute legends. Like, most people don't do that. You don't reference. I wouldn't even reference Kirk. Every episode. You know what I mean? So then there's probably something there. Maybe she was in maybe she even took she was a history major at the academy.
Maybe.
Something specific that means that she's very into the past, or maybe she maybe she's disappointed in her mum and her dad and the way Starfleet is now because she likes the past more. Kind of like a Star Trek fan, like in the old Trek more. So she looks at what Starfleet is now. She's like, why is this? I'd rather be with Kirk and such. Hence she mentions those guys. I mean,
maybe. Luke Celeste, $5. Kirk Fu. Oh, I've read that one already. Never mind. Good tea. Nice house. Puts in $5.
Thank you.
What I'm enjoying most about the animated aspects of the show is that the aliens are not your typical forehead, nose ridge aliens. Sure. Yeah, that's one of the good things about an animated series.
And
the original animated series had some cool aliens.
And yet, for the most part, they're also keeping restrained. They're not doing giant absurd aliens with massive tentacles, because that's never been Trek. It could be Trek, but unfortunately, I would rather limit to mostly forehead/body. But it's like change proportions of a person's. The arms are way too short to be a human, or things that you couldn't do with really the guy in a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Trembler says Trekyards, she even knows who Gary Mitchell is, so not just the big guys. Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm referencing that era. Although you could argue that Mitchell's quite important because he basically became a god of he could ESP and quite an interesting case study really.
Yeah. Sergeant
Ooh,
Roadkill. Oh,
no, really nice, good comment.
Sergeant Roadkill puts in 5 pounds.
Thank
Already
you.
after 3 episodes, Dr. Tiana is great, and she has been hardly seen on screen, or hardly had any screen time. A better Pulaski, but with claws.
An SWTX Trace says maybe Mariner took an orb back to the Kirk era. I mean, wouldn't take much that she went back in time once, met them, and that's why she's enamored by the period. That could be kind of cool, actually. Well, and I can imagine she would think she's better than people because she met Kirk, and maybe she got on well.
Saved Kirk's life or something.
That was
sworn to secrecy, or they tried to erase her memory, but she has remnants of it. She hasn't pieced it together yet. Maybe.
And we get an episode
That's
where
why she got demoted, because she violated the Temporal Prime Directive, doing something.
But they couldn't kick her out of Starfleet because she did save the Federation in the past.
Yeah, and that whole thing with the board with all the time travel things wasn't in this episode.
Yes.
Even though IMDb said it was. So that's still upcoming. Maybe she's starting to piece together her memory or something in that episode. Ooh, I like it.
And that would be the ultimate, fan servicey thing. But imagine if they also got Shatner to reprise as Kirk. Like, in the most surprise... I mean, obviously he sounds 55 years older, but hey-ho. I mean, it could be Wrath of Khan era, but I mean, what sort of amazing, clever thing... And it's like, let's do Trials and Tribulations again. That's... Yeah.
She mentioned Wrath of Khan. She mentioned Star Trek 4, so maybe it was that period where she went. Who knows?
That's interesting. And maybe why she knows Gary Mitchell is because she went drinking with Kirk one time she's in the past, and then he talked about Mitchell because he was his best friend at the time, wasn't he? Stuart, I think we've solved it. I think we've got through Mike McMahon, but I mean talk about a way of kind of both homaging Discovery and also middle fingering Discovery. It's like they had their end of season 1 a rushed Enterprise to get viewers. Lower Decks did the original Enterprise and brought Shatner back, and doesn't need to be Shatner, it could be someone else, But then she did go back to the original Connie, and so the last time we see is actually them going back into that would be fun. That'd be pretty fun. Mm-hmm. Although actually, I would be interested now to see Lower Decks go back in time and meet Discovery, have like animated Burnham, because then you could maybe that could fix it,
Maybe.
Because they could point out why on a cell so long. That'd be kind of fun. Then you can have Tilly meet Tindy, Burnham meet Mariner, Saru meet Boimler.
Maybe she got demoted because she did break the Temporal Prime Directive and created the Discovery verse. And
no, she should have been executed for that.
Yeah. Well,
so it's a bit harsh,
$5.
but sorry.
More than the Orion reference, I love the Great Bird of the Galaxy reference for Gene's 99th birthday, like a warm nod to all that came before. I did like how they said one of the great birds of the galaxy there, but yeah.
And it was one day late, like one day after, but I mean, that's pretty damn close. And considering they were originally going to release either a little bit earlier or a little bit later, I think it's luck of time where they rewrote that scene after they knew their scheduling, but that is a lovely timing. Really impressive for that.
And Gmon78, 5 pounds.
Hey, good to see you.
Hate all the knobs online saying worst show ever, then in the same breath saying they haven't actually seen an episode. Yep, there's a lot of that going around too.
Weird.
David Bessig, $20 again. Thank you very much, David.
Boom.
I also think part of my feelings was due to the fact I introduced my girlfriend to Trek and she wanted to watch DS9 first. We just watched Duet, one of the most hardcore and best acted episodes of DS9 earlier this afternoon.
Which one's DS9 Duet?
That's Kira one.
Oh god, season 1. Oh, is it the war criminal that's not war criminal and she has to choose not to kill him or something?
I don't know.
Okay. Anything season 1, I'm like, anything Kira, I'm like, Sure, it's well acted. Just. Mm.
Yeah. Anywho,
cool.
we should
Right.
probably get into reviewing the episode. Instead of all the speculation.
Oh. Yeah, I mean we could, but no one actually put like, disliked, or love, did they? In the chat.
Oh, there was a ton of likes. Didn't you see it? They like flew through like. Go back.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
bunch.
Oh, okay, good. Okay,
Yeah,
I
we
guess I
got
missed
spammed
that.
bit hardcore.
That's pretty positive then.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Fleetpaw Swiftback, $2, 104 likes. Love it. Again at 150. Hashtag make Fleetpaw pay. 168 of you here, which is awesome, guys. Like I said, if you haven't hit like yet, hit the like button. Let's get those likes up and do it. Do it to it.
So we have an intro now, and I think it's my least favorite intro so far.
Well, it's open mic night on the Cerritos. It's like every Federation starship has open mic night. Just bring your routine, do your thing, because we see it on the Enterprise all the time, or violins, or the trombone, or whatever. So
my problem with this cold open is that it makes Boimler look stupid, even though the episode makes a distinct point of making him be really clever. So it's weird mixed messaging. It shouldn't have been this one in this episode. It should have been the energy being one, probably.
Well, it doesn't really make him look stupid. He's talented enough to play a violin.
I mean,
the song wasn't the best, but
I mean, she makes him look stupid by being like overbearing against him, makes him look small and it's basically the Boimler get the hell away, you're the idiot scene. Even though but I liked Tindy's little sash thing. Shows they're all friends. We've already got to the point they're friends. And yeah, she rocks the open mic night with a guitar riff that echoes through the halls. To the nth degree. I quite like the engineering beat where she's like,
yeah.
What?
And a lot of people were saying, I think that the vibrations from her playing were amplified through the deflector grid and were hitting the Klingon bird of prey. It's like, or through the main deflector. It's like, no, there was an open channel. They were talking to the Klingon, and they heard the boom, boom, boom. And she's like, it's not on our end. It must be your equipment. And he looks at the one guy and says, basically, he's going to kill him because I thought that was great. It was just through the open comms. It wasn't projecting through space, because a lot of people were concerned that vibrations don't travel through space. But...
What, like sonar in space with Discovery? This is one of those moments where the way it plays, because we hear vibrations, that's what our brain goes to. Just like in my film Temporal Edict, where people say some things even though it's in the dialogue. Yeah, it's obviously through the comm channel. Although look at the view screen again, the consoles have now been stretched again. They keep stretching and de-stretching on the shot. That looks really obnoxious and impractical. Although, hey, guys, another Klingon, not Discovery Klingon.
Klingon captain's chair.
It's a bit oversized, but hey, that's okay. And not a standard uniform, but totally a nice little uniform. Good looking Klingon and a bird of prey. Tune in tomorrow for a bird of prey comparison episode. Is it a bird of prey? Probably. Is it the bird of prey? Probably not.
Is it a bird class?
Who knows?
John Woke puts in $5.
Thank you.
I like that Starfleet noticed how many clicks it took for Worf to do anything, so they invented a giant one-click mute button.
That was fun. I like that. So this opener is the Klingon bit is great, and the idea of the music is great, but not the way Mariner is in the scene. It's the same joke of who she is. And it's not great to start the episode. It makes her look like an idiot, like an arse. If she was in her quarters doing like a private practice and being like going overboard, like as in really like enthusiastic and losing track of herself, perfect. But not the way they presented it. So but the rest of it's fine.
Max Volume says the shot was reminiscent of the face-off between the Enterprise and the Bird of Prey in Search for Spock, and also
the Enterprise and the Bird of Prey
from TNG. What was the episode? Something.
Matter of Honor.
Matter of Honor. Yeah.
Da 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 da. Yes.
And poor Boimler gets his violin. I love that. Captain says you're being too loud.
Oh no, I'm sorry, sir. I mean, it makes some. I mean, he should know that a violin couldn't make the ship shake, but also, it's not a Bajoran instrument. Why would he know Why would he know what it is? And presumably he's not in a good mood, which is fine. So it's my least favorite intro, but at least we got to see some Klingons, and it shows the balls of them just to throw Klingons in.
Yeah.
And right.
The Trembler, $5.
Thank you.
Interesting to see modern electronics, user interface elements, ring countdown timers,
Yes.
mute button added to LCARs. It works. And Mark Bazaderovic,
Oh,
that's
that's
in $5.
Thank you.
I've been following you guys for years. Love your content, but never interacted before or contributed. So better late than never. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Nice to hear your voice, kind of.
And hope you're not too sleepy. It's probably late in the evening, but nice to bump into you, as it were, and join in. You do these at the same time every couple of days, as it were. So join in for sure. And it goes from the intro to a scene I really like, and it's so refreshing. I mean, beyond refreshing, to cut from titles into ship at warp, flawless warp, beautiful warp, with the name and the text, commander's log. It is so refreshing, and the ship, like, the dimensionality kind of works. Like, again, it's not the best looking ship,
Yep.
but it's definitely not the worst looking ship, and that's okay.
The ship looked really good in this episode, and the shots that it was in, it looked. Like I said, I'm really impressed with this design. It's not the best design ever, but it's not as ugly as a lot of people think it is. So.
Well, it's like it's still like the 6th best hero ship, because they just happen to be effing amazing, but it's better than Discovery and Picard's one. But I love that.
Yeah.
But give us this commander's log, 'cause I really like this moment. Actually, I think it's a new take on it.
Well, they're on their way. They're en route to Cardassia Prime for the most amazing reason. Captain Freeman is going to be instrumental in brokering peace between the. Oh wait, just reading a little message here. Yada yada yada. Oh no, the captain is not going to be happy about this. Commander's log. Turns out that they are, the Admiral's on screen, and they're canceling the Cardassia part because nobody wants to go to Cardassia. Apparently, they're moving the negotiations to Vulcan. Nobody wants to go to Cardassia Prime. The Cardassians are creeping everyone out. And then she's like, "Well, I prepared a speech, and I got the dance, and I was practicing Cardassian small talk, and you know." And the Admiral's like, it's okay. You'll be involved in the next historic once-in-a-lifetime summit.
The way she says that is just priceless, isn't it?
Yeah. But so they get rerouted to go to Galrock 5 to basically hand out diplomatic trinkets. And the captain is not happy about that. And she even whips her pad at the view screen.
I did laugh at that.
Yeah,
it's a stupid little thing, but I laughed at it. And Sir has a great comment for Cardassia, Mr. Garrick. And in fact, I think Kira even shouts it. I mean, this is a really good scene for many reasons. A, it establishes the commander as being a good guy at the start, just professional, which is good. I'm wondering why. What's the captain's name?
Captain Freeman.
Thank you. I should remember Gordon Freeman. I should link that together. I mean, that's. I mean, they don't go into explicitly what the mission is, so it's good. It's kind of vague. It's just important. But I wondered why she was given it in the first place.
Probably only ship nearby.
Or they're already in Cardassian space, possibly. And then but they didn't say it was cancelled. They said they moved it to Vulcan. But I guess it's implied that they're now so close to Cardassia they couldn't get to Vulcan in time to be at the Accords, and therefore, rather than delaying them because it's important, do them without you. Is that the correct inference, do you think?
Yeah, or maybe they didn't actually want her all along, but they wanted to make her feel like special, so they said, yes, go to Cardassia, and then the whole time we're planning it on Vulcan, and oh, yeah, you're too far away now. I don't want you.
A bit more conspiratorial than my version, I'll be honest. Because the question is, if she's not a very good captain, it's clear, but it's been such an amazing assignment, and you're right, if it was all never intended for her to really do it, then why is she so bad that she's, but I kind of like things change. I mean, what if, if 3 of the diplomats insist not Cardassia, what can they do, Yeah.
Well, I feel the commander's like, well, it seems like they changed locations. I don't think it was a slight towards the Cerritos. And she's like, no, they have no respect for us. Nobody respects us because we don't earn their respect. This ship is a joke. And he's like, well, they're the funniest joke in all of Starfleet. So.
Yeah. and it is interesting because you could also argue the ship is slightly a joke, or at least it was in the first, for some people when the first teaser image came out. It's an odd looking ship, and the ship itself, the crew is not a great crew, like great one. So it's interesting how it's like internal. But this is the catalyst. She was obviously super invested, like beyond invested. Like she might have thought this is her way of getting a Galaxy class or something bigger, And so having it ripped away from her with very little reason, this is why she goes off on one, I kind of wish they gave. I mean, this might be later on, but not. I think they're going to necessarily talk about more episodes. But it would have been nice if, like, well, it would have been harsh for her admiral if her husband forced her off the mission. But if like there's some really like personal reason she wasn't allowed to do it, and it's like even worse, then you got the emotions. But clearly she's just like, I hate Starfleet right now. What was this for? Why do I deserve this? And she saying it's the ship. She doesn't say it's herself because she at the end says, "Oh, I'm a great captain." You're not a great captain. That's kind of the point. But she blames the ship and the crew. That's her first reaction. The ship and the crew is the joke. I'm not the joke.
Yeah.
Which is, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And you got to feel for her because, Anywho, we move on to testing out the brig force fields and the whole, it was set to stun thing. And then, let's go get some margaritas. The job's done here because the reading on the integrity field was good. So, and then Tendy's like, hey, shouldn't we, report that we're finished? And they're like, nah. And this is where we hear the whole thing about buffer time. How you always like estimate more time than you need, so you got time to, have a little bit of a break. And then, of course, the doctor calls her up and says, how long to fix a biobed? That'll be 5 hours. Really? Or what did you say? That's great. And then they're like, hey, congrats. We're all, busting protocol together. So.
Yeah, I kind of wish that brig scene was a cold open because it feels very abstract in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's a cool potential scene, especially they're all working together, which we don't get very much of. But yeah, it goes straight into the buffer time, and I know I said to you earlier that I was really surprised how we got to see all of the trailer stuff very quickly, which left a lot of time for the unknown stuff, which is good. You're like 6-7 minutes in, you're like, oh, that's all I thought I knew. Okay, more story. And this was, quite straight to the point, which I like.
Well, we know the buffer time thing has been around since Scotty, and he explains it in Relics. But they even say here that the buffer time thing is a lower decks tradition, which later when the captain hears the 2 crew members say the buffer time, there goes the buffer time, and then Boimler screws it up in the turbo lift. She's like, "What's buffer time? What, you were never lower decks? You started out as captain?" You would think they would know because it's lower decks tradition. It's even said. So this is something that everybody goes through to rise up through the ranks.
That's a great point.
I thought that was a little odd, but I didn't catch it the first viewing. Second viewing, I'm like, wait a minute, she should know what that is.
See, there's an innate problem, which is, shown in Discovery and Enterprise. Retroactively introducing something causes problems. If every ensign flaked on the job, she was an ensign. Her husband was an ensign. You're right. That's why you can't introduce these things in that way. It would be nice if they said it was a Cerritos thing. Like their team, their ship, because they're a low-end ship. Or maybe it's like only they say, only the engineering core ships or the operations ships, Yellow Stripe, have buffer time because they're so unimportant. Whereas the mum got on a better ship, she never was in that. So it kind of falls down, but there is a slight reaction there. I mean, I guess you could argue it was 45 years ago, 50 years ago for her. She's like, she thought it was gone, but that's really stretching it given their memories and such.
Yeah. I got a few super chats. The
Brilliant.
Stream support puts in $20.99.
That is some real stream support. Wow, yeah.
I keep seeing a darker void on the back of the 2 struts that come away from the bridge module, 45 degrees. Sometimes a void, sometimes darker. Wondering if that is where our missing shuttle bays are.
No, I think the struts, they've got some turbolift shafts, but I think that might just be a rendering error, maybe.
Probably.
I don't know. It's interesting though. I'll have a look.
The Trembler, $5. We mostly
Thank you.
focused on good captains, but we'd had a Captain Styles show. Maybe she wouldn't seem out there.
I said that
Yeah.
earlier. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John Woke, $10.
Hey, thank you.
First episode, fired a phaser in the bar, an instant red alert. This time on vaporize and not peep, unless she disabled the alarm beforehand, so not an accident. When she fired the phaser, well, they knew they were going to be firing phasers. We don't know if it was on disintegrate. It could have been on kill. She didn't clarify.
Oh yeah, it was kill. That's harsh enough.
Yeah. So
Was there instant red alert in the bar? Because that was because of the alien. That was because of the infection. I assume that was just because someone called for red alert. It wasn't because of the phaser.
yeah, because he was like spazzing out on the bar, and I think
Yeah.
the bartender probably did a red alert thing.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure anybody can go beep red alert.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah. And I think more, and it's a good comment though, John. But I think more reference to like Star Trek 6, the phaser, the alarms go off. But you're right, they are actively shooting phasers. That's their job. So I'm sure they told security and said deactivate the alarms in the system for the next 2 hours. This is what we're doing.
Area. At least in this area, yeah.
Yeah, this is the job. You know, it's like if they do target practice in one of the mess hall in a room, they're not going to have them up. So interesting, but I think that's fine. If it was a stupid scene, like he's like, so test it, and there's like bee, and then she's like, oh, try this, but no, they're deliberately doing it properly. Well, I kind of wish at the end when she's like, I love the brig. I wish she said like kind of Scotty and Spock in Star Trek 5, like, I helped build that bridge, bitch, or built that brig, bitch. Like, I know how to get in and out, and I put in a secret suite cabinet. Cause that'd be kind of fun if next episode she's in the brig and she's got like a TV and like, cause she built them in just in case. Stupid, but I can imagine Lower Decks would do it. Yeah.
Well, the next scene, you got the captain freaking out on everybody. Oh, sure, stroll through the ship as slowly as possible.
And that's definitely,
we've talked about that all the time. We see it in TNG. People are just very casually strolling through the hallways. No hurry to get anywhere. They're doing their buffer time, walking from place to place. And I love that she even goes to the 10 forward of the bar area and is like, does nobody do anything on this ship?
Well, because if everyone's in uniform, how can you tell who's on duty? And several times the bridge officers don't know people's names, so she probably doesn't know most of her crew personally. So she's like, I mean, you could all be on duty for all I know, you know? Yeah. And also,
and somebody mentions there goes buffer time, and she's like,
what is that? Yeah.
Nothing, Captain. Yeah.
She's freaking the hell out.
She gets in the turbo lift with Boimler, and he's humming the Star Trek theme song, which is great. And then he says, yeah, I skipped over buffer time, and, I inventoried cargo bay 4. And she's like, what? And he even mentions a Baryon sweep, which is cool, because the Baryon sweep episode is one of my kind of guilty pleasure TNG episodes. So, but then, he basically, she confronts him about buffer time, so.
Yeah, but jump out for 1 second though. I like that you see an old lady or a lady with white hair in the. She's got 2.5 pips, but it just shows that any age can be any, just a small thing. And you got another guy with stubble and another guy with a weird sort of Italian-esque, old style. Just the showing a variety of people and ages, which is nice. I quite like this turbo lift. It's a little bit big. And I don't, and the lights just kind of flash in a weird way. There's no sense of motion, which I wish they had, but it's because they want a plate that they can do static. If you had to work out which rotation, at which angle, there'd be more thought per frame. But I quite like Boimler in this. He's just like, but her reaction, I know she's in a bad mood, and you can kind of look at it as she kind of doesn't care what he thinks, but the fact that she's in a bad mood and yet still understands that he wants to tell her, she says, report. See, that's a decent captain moment, And then she
because she didn't look like she wanted to talk to him at all, and she gave into that. So
yeah. And I do quite like the everything goes black except Boimler like effect. And boy, the way he comes in, I like that. She's just like, oh, you look more Weasley than normal. He's just like, oh, and they never find out it's him either, which I like because you expect that to be a thing, but you never do. I kind of like they just strolled right over that.
Yeah. Well, they got notified that effective immediately lower deck scheduling deceit will no longer be tolerated. Like, scheduling deceit, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
And then, wait a minute, who could it be? Delta Shift. Because they think they're so much better than us. Because they are.
Because they are. Which I like. That's a good. That's a good line.
Yeah.
And that definitely makes Tindy or how do you say it? Tendy. Definitely feel like part of the crew now. She's already activated pretty quickly because to already hate one of the divisions, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still confused by these countdowns because they clear going down in seconds, and yet you couldn't possibly do any task in 1 minute. So I don't quite understand that.
Later, Rutherford says I got 10 minutes to do a 30-minute diagnostic. I think 30 minutes is his estimated the time he always says, and he's got 10 minutes to do it because it's actually supposed to take 10 minutes.
I kind of got the sense he was late on like everything of the day, and therefore that was meant to be done in 10 minutes, and he was meant to have. But yeah. But yeah, countdowns. But I do appreciate they're all like, you know what, we can do this. And
what's one less margarita a day. It's
and that's why this show also wins out against Discovery and Picard. It's a silly situation, they're silly people, but there's that Star Trek Starfleet optimism shining through.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. These people aren't sad, angry, hate themselves, hate Starfleet. At the end of the day, they're all competent officers that can do good stuff. You need that. You need that Picard and Discovery. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. We got a nice shot of the Cerritos to start out the next scene from the front. Looks really great.
The insanity shot.
Then we get everybody freaking the hell out. And I love how the open panel, when he closes it, is an LCARS display screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I didn't know those opened up like that. I like that. So
I like the scene in concept, except I don't buy that there's that many terminals around every corridor, and each one needs replacing parts all the time. Because why would that be a thing? But it's hard to show without doing custom rooms. How do you repair the ship? So they went for a simple thing. I don't buy this really, but you know, I don't know why there would be the numbers on all the panels. I mean, how many days could you live when every single LCARS there's timers? Like already, you're like, this is a wrong decision. Yeah, it's not going well. Not going well.
Area 51 puts in $5 and says, I'm betting more people secretly like this show than are willing to admit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I would hope so.
I don't mind saying I like it. I really enjoy it. So.
Yeah, honest and fair. And then we get introduced to Boimler again, and he is just really happy.
He's loving it. This is his jam. Completed all the assignments for today's schedule and already asked for more.
And I love that his pad is green and solid and no number. Like, that's a lovely little touch. It's like, oh yeah, no, he's done. He's done for the day.
But then somebody's got to purge the calibration matrix.
Oh!
I call dibs.
Yeah.
And then I love his song. Oh, I love purging. I purge you. I purge you. Purge, 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 purge. Purge, purge. It's good. It's funny. I like it.
It's a good character moment. I really like the other guy slumped and his hand is activating all the buttons. That's a nice little detail. But this is where the intro made him look a bit stupid, at least vibe-wise. But guys, he's the only one on the crew that excelled. Think about that for a second. All the lieutenants, the captain, everyone else that we see cannot deal with constant work and achieve it properly. Most of them cut corners and do bad jobs.
It looked like Mariner was holding her on, though, because she was running. I got to help Ransom on his away mission, and she doesn't have bags under her eyes later, just like Boimler. They look like they both can handle it.
Although my sense is that she either hacked the system to allow her to do less work, or she just didn't do the work and skived and got away with it.
Yeah.
I think I think after a day or two she'd do something cheap, like Kirk. She would change her pad or change her records. But the fact that Boimler managed to do everything and correctly, and other people were doing bad things. I mean, even at the bridge level, those officers just couldn't even use their consoles anymore. They were so tired. That tells you Boimler is a legitimate talent on the ship.
See, that got me wondering too. Like, the console's not working, says the operations officer, and then raise the shields. Oh, the console's not working. I was thinking, okay, is there something else going on? Like there's an infection or something of the consoles. But if it's just that they're tired, I don't know how much I buy that. But and apparently it's been about a week because Boimler does say this has been the best week of his life.
Yeah.
So.
Although you would think they would still get the time off shift. So even though they're very busy for 7 hours or whatever, they'd still get to sleep and relax the rest of it.
Yeah.
Don't quite buy they'd get this burned out this quickly.
Yeah. John woke $2.
Hey.
They're replacing the canister.
Oh, sorry guys.
What Tindy was carrying. Oh, did I get cut off again?
Yes.
They're replacing the canisters of battle rocks.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
And
that's good.
The Trembler puts in $5. This balances previous episode. There it shows mostly his failings. Here his competence. Here's competence. Yes.
Yeah, because book smart, technical smart, he's great. Because it's all Starfleet standard issue stuff. That's what this shows. Whereas everyone else off-world, it's all unknown things. But I just want to point out he's genuinely very good in this episode, and that should be applauded. Because those that call him stupid and dumb and unable, he's the only one, except maybe Mariner, who can survive this week. That says something serious.
Yep. And then next scene, we got the commander.
Commanding!
And he mentions other away missions that have gone wrong and not routine. Horn gorillas. We got the Mugatu. Sentient tar. So we got the thing that killed Tasha. And then we got spores that make you hook up with your best friend's sister. Now I assume the spores are the ones from this side of paradise in TOS. Would be my guess. Kind of make it go weird. But anyway, I thought those were 3 nice references that maybe not a lot of people caught. So, thought I'd point them out.
Yeah, they're a bit.
It looks like he's doing nothing, even though he says he's commanding.
But that's we've talked about for Riker all the time. Like, what's he doing on the bridge? Like, Picard gives an order. He says the order again. Like, commanding is an odd job, especially at the top tier. Your job is to just kind of be there, because then people have questions. So a lot of the time, your job isn't to carry stuff. You could, but it's not. That's not your job. So it's actually a well said version of I'm commanding. It's the job.
And it's worth pointing out too that he does the Riker pose twice in this episode.
Yup.
Here and then later in the brig or in the jail as well.
And she matches him.
Yep.
It's a whole thing.
Legs up on things.
Good reference.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, she's basically busting his balls saying, so, why don't you help instead of doing what you're doing? I kind of love that. We don't know their dynamic yet together. This is kind of establishing it. And I love how he says, if you didn't have such good phaser accuracy, I wouldn't even let you off the ship.
Yeah. Which I like that.
So that was good. And then roll down those sleeves. That's important later. Which I always push the sleeves up whenever I wear a long shirt. I hate the sleeves down. So I feel you, Mariner.
And I called her out for that in episode 1. That she looked silly with the sleeves and the undone shirt. So hey, I got you, Ransom.
Well, you're the commander, so
yeah. And also, it's worth noting that he is not tired either.
Nope.
So I like the implication that, like, his job is to manage the crew, but the crew are managing themselves almost because they've got to. So each has less work, whereas the captain is always trying to do more. It's subtle, but the dynamic is like the commander sort of deals with situations, but if everyone's doing status quo, he doesn't have to deal with them in the same way.
Yeah, and I love how that's revealed later that even the senior staff are busting their balls, and because I think Boimler thought it was just all the lower decks guys. But he was surprised to find out it was the captain as well. So he's like, no, you're the captain. You need to be rested. You need to do your thing. Let other people do their jobs. Yeah.
But then you get a confusing moment where the shuttle does not come out of where we thought they'd come out of. So that mystery will hopefully be answered at some point. But yeah, they're going to give a peace crystal to Planet of Crystal Lovers. Bit of a gimmick. Good little box. Crystals. And he's happy. They're doing good. Positive officers. And I was about to say Burnham there, but Mariner is being negative to everything he says. And kind of some of them are clever bits, like why don't we beam down? Good point. he points out, there's a special interference. Just like, dude, that's the clouds. And he says, no autopilot for me. And it's played from her perspective like he's being a douche. Who's like, I want to be, well, hey, this challenge only I can solve. That's how she's seeing it. But the way it's acted, at least to me, is, hey, this might be a problem. I'll take her in. Because I'm responsible for you all. Like, he acts very genuine. Yeah. She just takes it as a douchebag move. So I appreciate the acting there.
I just want to point something out here. The STEM support is yelling at us, says, look at the void there. Yes, we see the squares underneath the saucer. It doesn't look like the shuttle drops from there, though. It looks like it comes from the front of the ship. So somebody else had suggested it's this rectangles at the back of the gray areas on the back of the saucer, but I don't think it is.
Well, they're docking clamps, those. Like, they're umbilical areas.
Yeah.
But we've seen inside those little circle bits, and there's windows. I mean, yes, you could have doors as well, but we've only seen windows, so. And it'd be weird, and we see them come out forward, so you can't, unless they're literally like this, which would be a first and a bit stupid. We know they're not drop-down bays.
They can go up and then go into a door, but it doesn't look like it does that, so.
Yeah, it's confusing so far, and they're not on the MSD. Those shuttle bays are not in the middle of the hull. They're at the back, anyway.
Yeah, they're on the MSD, so that's another thing you got to match up.
Yeah.
Sergeant Roadkill puts in £5. Always need the sleeves up. Freeze up arms for quick phaser shots. Anyway, gotta go. Carry on being awesome. Trekyards crew included.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anyway, they don't bring the crystal because the guy's too tired. He was rushing to get another task done, so he grabbed the wrong box.
Yep.
And he brings a piece of wood.
A piece of wood?
That doesn't sound peaceful. That was funny. But it turns out that it's actually a
fertility.
It's not the crystal Vendome. It is the fertility totem meant for Maverick Prime.
Oh, and those are their sworn enemies. But I like the subtext there. They're trading with both sides.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have it, would they? In an official Starfleet box.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I was concerned about these aliens, how they play in, but I think this is for what it is, it's an interesting way of doing this. Like, it's a new approach, and it's logical. Like, you understand these people are a bit, crazy, and they took this as a slight against their very nature, and it kicked off a bit.
Mm-hmm. It's an act of war, don't you know? Starfleet scum.
Yeah. Escalate.
The guy gets stabbed with a spear. Mariner kicks the crap out of some people doing some funky kung fu. And then they blow a horn, more people come in, and then they pull the Bolian behind the crystal, and he's worried he's going to die. And she's like, we work on a spaceship. Nobody's dying from a spear wound.
That is a great little internal. Yeah, that's fun. I like that.
Well, that's where her sleeve gets ripped. Okay, she rips her sleeve off to bandage it. Okay, I didn't notice that before.
Didn't notice that either. Nice. And Lawrence asks, how did they have the crystal on board? They weren't originally assigned to go to this planet. They stopped along the way and pick it up. Well, they presumably were sent to meet their first contact ship.
Well, they did say, this was presented to the other crew during first contact. Yeah. We need to present it on second contact.
So they sort of met up with them, parting of the ways.
Possibly, yeah.
But yes, it is a little bit odd, for sure. I mean, you could probably just replicate a new one, potentially, especially the wood thing. Now, this is one of those slight problems, because, again, this episode is really good, but it has some really stupid plot problems. But, things are still going to happen. It's one of those conceits. So, Ransom's like, I'm going to do a good thing. I'm going to be heroic. She's like, really? Yes, I'm going to try. Got a speech. Doesn't go well. Gets electrified. Oh, no, sorry, I've skipped it. When they run to cover, you can see that the entire crew is at the shuttle, doors open, they're fine. And the entire crew then runs past the shuttle, and you see them running past an open shuttle with shields. So the whole them being captured is dependent on them not going towards the shelter that they would go to. I mean, it's the same as in any situation saying, why don't you just do on wide beam? Because they're stupid, because the plot can't let them. But it does feel dumb as a specific shot where they just run past a shuttle that's open. I mean, you could be in under a minute, you could be in with shields on. So, another stupid plot problem. Like, here, there you go. They could be quicker to go into the shuttle, guys.
Well,
does that make sense?
And the suggestion is made, why not just stun them? And he's like, no, we just sign them into the Federation.
Yeah, which is not. I mean, hey, trying to go with the rules, isn't he?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, he gets hit in the nuts, ironically, with the wood, this fertility
I thought
thing.
that was funny, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit ironic. The Trembler, though, puts in $5.
Thank you.
One thing they shouldn't set up here is that purple crystals can fire, but not blue ones. Comes out of nowhere. Later, purple crystal Star Trek Online weapon. Eh?
As in the things in the staffs. Because it can shoot later,
Oh,
but they don't shoot them
Oh.
here. They use them as staffs. Yeah, it's a bit odd. Bit odd for sure.
and Ozzy said there's a Bajoran sphere here. There's a Bajoran orb, but I couldn't see one. So
That's a pretty ballsy claim.
Mhm.
But yeah, Mariner gives up appropriately, and she makes a Kirk reference.
On an alien planet surrounded by spears. Woohoo! What am I, Kirk? Is this 2260?
Yeah, correct
Yeah.
reference. Good.
Yeah, that was good.
We're back on Cerritos, not doing so well, and yes, everyone is doing so bad that it even does acid, and yeah, just it gets worse. You know.
Looks like they had a vat of xenomorph blood.
I thought that.
Yeah.
Buddy bumps into Tindy, and they're both, I guess, reconfiguring something. And she's so tired, so overworked, that she can't remember where sickbay is, which is her entire existence.
And he's like, Deck 26? He's like, do we even have that many?
And what's that reference to, Stuart?
That's a reference to First Contact, where they say the Borg have gone to or infiltrated Deck 26, and there's not 26 decks. Yeah.
That's what a specific smart ass reference. You know,
There's got to be something. We know that there's a scene coming, well, not a scene coming up in this one, but in one of the episodes where Mariner's working on a turbolift shaft. There's got to be a reference to Star Trek 5.
all of the wrong.
Like Deck 76.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because that was subtle, and not a lot of people might have caught the.
Yep.
You know, it was good. It was good.
Well, because that was one of those ones we looked at for the best continuity mistakes in Trek. Like, it's silly but small, but it's because they mentioned it earlier. But what's fun about this episode is actually genuinely putting a window into the world that we haven't really had before.
Yeah.
Don't you think that the guy that relays the thing to Picard is overworked, underslept, stressed? If they can make the mistakes at 26, maybe that guy can too. He's fighting the Borg for how many days? You know what I mean? It kind of retcons that to possibly he's just buffer timed out. It's actually kind of clever. I actually dig that. It was smart.
It was good. Then we're up at the bridge, and she needs a security code entered in, and the guy's like, sorry, Captain, my console's not working. And I'm like, what? Anyway, she does it herself, and then we get news that the sensors have picked up Galrakian ships approaching. And so they put them on screen, and we get these crystal ships coming up, which is kind of neat, you know. And then we see the vessels that they launch in a second. But she orders to raise shields and lock weapons, and he's like, I'm trying, Captain. Something's wrong with the controls. Stupid controls. I thought it was a little weird, but anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't.
She jumps over the console, and yeah.
Yeah, she jumps over in the Picard maneuver way, which is good. Good reference to best Enterprise. I do agree it does come out of nowhere a little bit, but Tindy just forgot where sickbay is. So if she can forget where sickbay is, maybe he can be so tired. They said he has no bags under his eyes, so it's a bit weird. The impetus could also be that because people are fixing the ship wrong and poorly, that someone misaligned the consoles on the bridge, and therefore nothing's working. It could be either. And I kind of wish when she went around, she's like, beep, 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 it's not working. Computer, get a repair crew up here, and you've got 1 minute to get here. Like
he does have bags under his eyes, though.
Well, not in the close up though.
Yeah, he does.
Well, look at the live. I mean, neither of them have it in the close up that I'm on right now.
We'll go back like two.
Yeah.
The close ups of his face, he's got bags under his eyes. So.
Yeah. Oh, inconsistent one there. But yeah, I think it could be either, and it's kind of ambiguous. But yeah, they get boarded, and we get some Aztecing. Small thing, but there's Aztecing.
And I love how these are like more primitive people boarding with like spears, which can barely fire or whatever.
Yes.
But still, if everybody had been on point and on game, this never would have happened at all. Not even close. And I love how Boimler points that out later. This is what everybody's. And the captain's like, yeah, they're boarding, but I want you to still keep doing your jobs, but repel the boarders. It's called multitasking, people. They do it on the Enterprise all the time.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, and somebody last night on my first reaction said that it was too many references to the Enterprise already, and I'm like, well, not really. It's the flagship. It's the one that people aspire to be on, so I can see it being mentioned. I thought it was fine, but
I mean,
thoughts on
they're so integrated. Both of them make sense. One is an offhand, based on brag rights, and one is brag rights of the best ship in the fleet. I mean, both make sense. I mean, imagine if you were in Kirk's time, you would say the same thing about the Enterprise A, etc., etc. But as you know, this is my biggest problem with this episode. Again, stupid plot. So these officers, they might be very tired. And okay, we've now got a week set up. But you're not showing us direct repercussions, apart from a few guys forcing things into a console that don't quite work, people not remembering how to fire phasers, whatever. But these people wouldn't be like, oh no, we're getting killed by or beaten up by aliens, I'll just keep working. They would very quickly stop working and do something. But the input literally is played out as if no one stops them until the captain says, now you can take time off, stop them.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's unbelievable. I completely lost the episode's respect in terms of like believing the unbelievable. It's just like disbelief only suspends so far.
Yeah.
And I'm fine not having phasers on hand because phasers are in. I would even go with a joke whereby the crew like runs to a phaser cabinet and they forget the code, and they get hit. Like they're at least trying.
Well, later they're like whipping pads at them and whatever they have in their hands, like tools, and they're bashing them over the head with pads once they're fighting back. So, yeah, the weapons thing, yeah, I kind of agree with you there. But
and this is why we said virus was more logical, because it doesn't matter how tired you are, you're being invaded by aliens that might kill your entire crew. You're not gonna keep doing menial tasks over it. Like this example of these people looking is a clear example of this is stupid. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work. Yeah, stupidest bit of the episode for sure. But you need it for the plot. I understand it. It just doesn't make sense. But to be fair, it's our first really big doesn't make sense yet. That's pretty good.
The Trembler, $5. Ordered to work while repelling boarders is where it goes too far. Just having them not able to resist well because they're tired would be better.
Yep.
Well, they were ordered to repel the boarders and work as well. So that's what the captain said. Doesn't mean you should stop doing what you're doing. Multitasking, people.
Because it would have been fine. It's if it implied then that the punishment, because she does say there's like, not punishment, there's a repercussion. If the punishment was really, as in bad for them, they were like, well, someone else will deal with the problem. Like, I can imagine, if you want to take the joke further, that long shot of the people, if some guy had, as they were running, they hid, and they slowly closed the door and said, oh, someone else will deal with it. Let's keep working. I don't want to be late. Like, you could have made that make sense, as each crew just locked themselves, because security will deal with it. Problem is, security is dealing with something else that's irrelevant. Like, they could have made that make way more sense.
Absolutely.
Whereby the punishment, like, maybe you're in the brig, or maybe you lose all your replica rations, or holodeck rations, like, something really serious. Therefore...
No holodeck time.
Yeah, and
everybody wants. Yeah.
And therefore, not doing it is like giving up holiday for the year, So someone else to deal with it. So yeah, it could have been much smarter, but they've already crammed a lot in. So yeah, but well done you though, Stuart. As we come back to the planet, we did get this text on the ship and in the thing, and you noticed it. So good job. Exactly as yeah, well done. Smart.
That's right. The Trembler, $20.
Ooh,
there is a tension between exaggeration for a comedic cartoon and fitting with a serious Trek universe. The execution's usually good enough. I enjoy the show so far, but I feel the tension. Yeah, that it is it is exaggerated a lot of things for the sake of animation and comedy. So
And yet it keeps most of it in check,
it
which is
does.
remarkable.
It keeps too much of it in check for that to not be
Yeah.
stated that it was kind of stupid.
Although
So,
good old Gamer has a counterpoint. The ship has trained security officers to deal with intruders. Well, in Voyager, when the when the Vidians are attacking, guess what? Harry picks up a phaser.
Mm.
So sorry, every single person has security training, even the medics. Everyone is ready to defend the ship. There might be less good people, but sorry, we'll not go for that.
So we get them in prison here, and she's making fun of the guard. And
I didn't mind this joke.
Yeah, and he's like, "Would you be quiet? I'm writing a speech. I will convince him to let us go." He's got, "We may come from different worlds."
And again, I appreciate the acting here. He's not doing it like a douchebag.
Yeah,
it's so important.
And she's like, "Permission to speak freely," and I love it. Nobody can stop you from speaking freely.
Yep.
Which is great.
Great line.
She's hard to deal with.
Yep.
And here she goes, "Well, you got your broad shoulders and your shiny hair," which is like the first indication that she's kind of attracted to him.
She noticed him.
You talk a good game, yeah. When it comes down to the job.
And the leg goes up.
Yep. They put their legs up. Yep.
Oh, I love that. It's such a cliche, clever Trek little.
And she calls bullshit on him, and I love because I didn't know what to expect from his character here, but he's so. I'm a commander. This is my responsibility. I love that because you didn't expect that. You expected her to take charge or whatever, make him look like an idiot.
Yep.
And it just doesn't happen. And I thank God for that.
Yep.
So
we didn't go the Michael Burnham route, where she mission splains to Pike, who should know better, who does know better.
Yeah.
No. She's a subordinate. He has more experience. He's, this is how the scene should go with a character like Mariner, and yet you get to learn about both of them. And yes, the counterpoints points. It's interesting. And like you said, we were presented this character, this guy, to be a bit of a douche, man's man, not very intelligent. He's a decent commanding officer. You see why he's a commanding officer in this episode. You get it. Captain, not so much. Where he's good, she's let down a bit, but that's this week. That's this week.
Yeah.
He really does raise up, and I was very surprised. And it's clearly, the scene clearly implies she's going to take control. I know it's a later scene, but it's clearly like she's going to be the one that stands up. No?
Yeah.
The scene plays out unexpectedly. We ain't no Michael Burnham here.
Yeah. Sam U. Ray puts in $5. Everything TNG highlighted, Star Trek Lower Decks mocked. Discipline, sophistication, the Starfleet way. Star Trek comedy always works situationally, not at expense. Yeah, but this isn't geared as a serious Star Trek show. This is a Lower Decks comedy animated show. So I think it's the perfect blend of what's going on. And respect the canon and references and a lot of great stuff, which is over-exaggeration of humor.
I mean, it's definitely the pinch of salt where everything you're watching is exaggerated because it's comedic. Obviously, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But remember, this isn't a very good ship. Isn't a very good crew. One guy's 1 year at the academy. This woman is clearly, whatever. She's too old to be in this lower role. This is we've only ever seen. I mean, Voyager was the fastest ship of the fleet. Fastest. Enterprise D was the flagship. They're all the best. And they're all normally high up in the best. So yes, this is not an ideal crew. And that's the point. Hey, was Red Squad in DS9? They didn't do very good, did they? They were a wrong crew. They did bad. I think it was also Red Squad with Wesley? They tried to cover up a dude's murder. They all did the wrong thing too. Picard and his, ensigns in Tapestry, they were doing the wrong thing. Lower ranks, lower people aren't as perfect. They might want the best ideals, but they're still human. I don't think it's at the expense of everybody. But we still have the second in command guy. He and Boimler are representing good stuff in Starfleet. They're pushing it forward.
Yep. And Luke Celeste, Riker plus Handsome equals Ransom. I think you meant Riker, not Ricker, but. So yeah, we get the person in charge here.
I liked him.
Yeah, trial by combat. because we have you must fight our champion in the arena. His name is Vindor. Usually we just surprise you with him from the shadows, but he's here, so we're going to show him to you.
Like, you can tell it's him because he's the big guy. So yeah, here he is.
If you lose, you'll be dead, and your away team will be crushed by the adjudication geode.
That made me laugh. That made me laugh.
Yeah.
That was so... it was fun. It was simple, fun, stupid. You know?
Yeah.
Simple, fun, stupid.
So yeah, they tosses a battle blade, and you have 1 hour to choose who will have the honor of being slaughtered by Vindor, and they're fighting over it. He's like, seriously, you're fighting over who's going to get killed? It's good. It's funny.
This is the sort of scene I'd write where you pull away from the average situation into the... But as soon as this scene happens, you're like, oh yeah, this makes sense for both of them. She thinks she's better at everything, or at least this sort of stuff, and he's the one in command who's also obviously clearly a focus on fitness, focus on being a strong guy. He's obviously, this is his thing too. And I just love the reaction of the alien. It's so apt, and you never really see that. It's a really good little moment of just like, I mean, guys, you're gonna be killed. Be scared. No, it's fine. It's fine. We're good. No. That's part of the fun. No, we're fine. It's like, ugh. No, it's good. And definitely, I mean, talk about Thor Ragnarok, you know. I mean, but it's fine. You know, I do appreciate the references. I like it.
The Trembler, $2. I think of Barclay before TNG helped him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you do wonder how he got through the academy.
Oh, absolutely.
Not for lack of skill. Although you also wonder, how did the captain and lower decks become captain? Actually, that's a good example. Well, it's not necessarily good to link to Discovery or Picard because they're bad examples of Trek, but that captain and crew weren't very nice. Because yes, it was a low-ranking ship with a low-ranking mission. They weren't very good either. Ha ha ha. But it was made by the Discovery writers, so shouldn't tell you much.
Well, we're back in the Cerritos, and
Didn't quite understand this. If everything's graffitied and yet people are still standing, what's happening on the ship?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Anyway.
And it's still fixing goddamn wall panels. Why do you have to keep putting tubes into wall panels?
The translation is bark-hugging root smoochers. And I love Boimler's reaction. What the heck are these guys so wound up about? This is going to totally mess up my schedule. And he starts phasering off the graffiti, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
And then gets surrounded. He goes, "We have you surrounded." Yeah, but... And this... It's so competent. Yeah, but I have a phaser. And just takes them all out.
Yep.
And these guys are lightweights. Is this what the red alert's about? Seriously? I thought that was fantastic. So good job, Boimler.
Yeah, it's a good little moment. Although now we know they're also laser sticks, but he doesn't know that. But I think part of the implication is that everyone has now become so tunnel focused, they don't see what's around them. Hence the lack of graffiti. And most of the crew is hurt. But in this is obviously a little while later. I would assume a few hours. Normally, if an alien race attacks a ship, they either want to take it over or want to kill the crew. They did neither in that time.
They want to graffiti it.
Exactly. It's more of a symbol of, we hate you guys. Which is why the crew is fine, and there's not the same tension. It's more of a petty teenage squabble, which I like that slight different context. And so the threat isn't so much a threat as a... Because he just gets right up to the bridge. Like, they haven't even... Like, there's no effort here, you know? So he's, oh, bridge? Yeah. And the guy's so tired, he grabs him, everyone's asleep, and...
The Trembler, though, throws in $5.
Thank you.
If we divided the A and B plots in two, ground would be 9 out of 10, ship would be 6.5 out of 10 due to illogic. Love the ground part.
Yeah. But then there's also enjoyability factor, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, and the security guy tackles him and then says, "Sorry, Brimler." Gets his name wrong again.
Which I liked.
Yeah. And then this is when he comes to the realization that even the captain or the senior staff are under these time schedules. You guys are under the strict scheduling too. He's like, no, this is wrong. I need us working harder. And or the
Yep.
captain says, I need us working harder, faster, and stricter. He's like, no, you're the captain.
Mhm.
Let us do our jobs.
Mhm.
Which is great. So
Yeah, I mean, he's the hero here. You know, he's the
Yeah.
classic pencil pusher who gets it. Although, already looking at the shots, like, they know they're under attack. But that, I know they're tired, but tiredness isn't the biggest excuse if you haven't set up properly. Why is the epic fighting Bajoran chief tactical officer sitting on the bridge doing nothing when the ship's being attacked for an hour? Like,
Yeah.
he, even being tired, he would know. So
yeah, that's some stupid stuff there, I gotta admit.
yeah,
So,
there's a disconnect here.
Yeah.
But probably my favorite joke of the episode. They finally get into the turbolift, and it's in the shaft, not the turbolift,
Yeah.
which I liked. Little detail, like, give us your crystals. He's like, we haven't got any crystals. Well, except dilithium crystals. We can't have those.
but we're not giving you those. Yeah.
I was just like, oh yeah, because they don't know what you've got. You obviously think, we don't want any crystals, you idiots. Oh, we do use crystals. Oh shit, they're really important. I like that. It's an obvious line, but it comes from an organic place. It's like, oh yeah, we do. We can't have our crystals. The whole thing runs on crystals. So it's not as stupid as it sounds.
We're back on the planet. Yeah, we're having the conversation of rank means nothing now. Well, at least that's what Boimler says, or Mariner. And I love his reaction. Rank means everything, always.
Which is not him saying always follow the orders, but it's like, I've earned this, excuse me. We're in
Yeah.
Starfleet, rank means everything in Starfleet.
Well, she points out all of her scars. One was a tentacle guy, a bunch of arms, stabbed me with a barnacle blade. Check it out. Marcus 3, Nibia Prime, and Scottsdale, which is Scottsdale, Arizona. That was a mess. Anyway, she earned every one of these scars in high concept fighting. And this is what I got to do now. I got to go in there and save the day. And she blames him for playing it safe because he doesn't have any scars. And they have to talk about their team. And I love how sometimes you got to do the what's wrong to survive. That's what she says. He's like, you're absolutely right, and stabs her in the foot with the battle blade. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's definitely a subversion of expectations. You don't think this is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is where he pulls the I'm the commander. I would not let you risk your life for me or the ship. Nobody crushes my team. And he rips his shirt off like Ned Flanders or groundskeeper Willie style. Let's do this. And he's just ripped.
And again, I thought this would be a stupid bit where he fights not Hulk. I thought it'd be a gimmick. It's genuinely built up, given time to grow, makes a lot of sense, and it's exactly what Commander could, should, would do. You know, life or death. I'm gonna save you by stabbing your. Hopefully, he didn't cut her toe off, because that'd be even harsher. Although easy to fix, I'm sure, with tech. But there's a subtle line I missed earlier where she said, "Oh, you're trying to help your team." It's like, no, our team. A simple line saying you don't think of yourself as part of this crew. You are. And my responsibility is for all of you. And so I'm going to, stop you if it means saving you, which is do what's right to do what's wrong. And it's an interesting scene. It really, really is. And it's really satisfying because it's nice to see her be like, yeah, you don't know it all. Because she's played so much that way. And yeah, he should take charge. And yes, definitely the Kirk is a reference. And it's just full of references here. And the way he bashes out and the guard's like, well, nothing, doesn't do anything. Is satisfying, and the dude very clearly very Ragnarok. And he also, when he starts fighting him, there is the arena theme but a remix of it.
Yeah.
It's there but not, which I liked.
And we get the references to double fist punch.
Stuart, that's all he uses.
I know.
His entire moveset is Kirk Fu, and that's how he wins.
Love how he backs up and cracks his neck and then gets back into it.
Well,
that's great. He throws down the blade first. He's like, I just need my hands for this.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
No, it's actually a surprisingly impressive scene. And yeah, the bit where he steps back and does the thing, he does the Mission Impossible, reloads his fist, Didn't think I was going to see that in Star Trek, but it's quite a famous moment that Henry Cavill got a lot of credit for because it was an improv on the set and they loved it, and he does it. But just this scene, this entire scene is literally a Star Trek conceit in terms of fighting a big dude, kind of like other shows, but doing it shirtless like TOS, fighting like TOS, and you understand that he shouldn't be able to win this fight. But the fact he does so easily is because of the Trekness. He's using Trek to win a fight that he shouldn't be able to win, and he's just like, I understand this. Awesome, you know.
And Mariner's like, oh, it's kind of hot. Wait a minute, no, you are not into this. Come on now.
Which was unexpected and kind of like, okay, you crazy girl.
Fleet Pod Swiftback puts in $2, 155 likes. Ugh, and a lot of Kirk Fu. Sweet. Hashtag make Fleet Pod Swiftback pay. Well, guys, yeah, we have 193 of you watching, which is fantastic. Make sure you're all subscribed to the channel and also hit that like button. We can get those likes up. We can hit at least 175, I think. Let's go for 175. Kevin, hit like.
I mean, honestly, guys, I think you need to click like for Kirk Fu.
Well, yes.
If at any point you're going to click like, I want to see 200 likes. I want to see concerted effort by our team Trekyards to like Kirk Fu. So 162, click it. Log in on your phone. Log in on your iPad. Log in on your PC. Click like. I want to see it.
Yes. Kevin Scott, 76, puts in $5.
Thank you.
I like how they use the title song for the flight sequence, Kevin from Rocket City, Huntsville, Alabama. Okay, I didn't notice any of that. Don't even know really what you're referring to, so
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Danny Shields, €5.
Thank you.
I love to read.
Yes.
Yes. Well, it's coming up. Not quite yet.
Yes. Yeah. Beats him up pretty much. It's fun. Cerritos full of graffiti, and it's kind of stupid to see them put it on. But also, yeah, there's the lasers, the graffiti guns at least. They're just like, yeah, stupid Starfleet, yeah.
Yeah, these wood lovers. Hope you like our crystal graffiti.
It's entertaining. It's an entertaining moment, and again, it shows they're not because they could have killed them all by now. But that's not the point. And we've also seen that you can take all graffiti with a phaser as well. So it's a nice like. It's like putting a whoopee cushion under a person. It's only effective for a few seconds and then move on, you know?
Yeah. Then we get the inspiring speech from Boimler talking about how this has been the best week of my life, you know, all the schedules and everything. Captain, you're a great captain. You run the tightest ship in Starfleet. And she's like, tightest ship? Then why is it falling apart?
Yep.
Because not everybody's a Brad Boimler.
Yes.
The crew has their limits. They're only human. Well, and Vulcan. And Orion. And there's that Benzite guy in Tactical. Which was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need some inspiration here. The security guy's yelling at her. And then she talks about maybe letting the crew do what they need to do, like loosen up a little bit and bring back buffer time. And she's like, yes, I am a great captain. Anyway, it's funny. I really like this part.
I kind of wish though there's when they cut to the Bajoran, he yells to him, you know, if you're gonna have the inspiring speech that solves the problem, do it now. But the music's too loud. It really gets lost in the mix.
It does.
But he's basically saying, do the thing that we're waiting for you to do as the audience, and it plays cleverly. Like I like them. I like the idea of that. It gets lost in the mix really easily. But I had to listen to a couple of times to get it. But I still don't like the fact that she takes that speech as a good captain. It shows she's not a good captain. Like, you wouldn't see Picard, after all that, saying, yo, yes, I am a good captain. No, she's not a good captain. She's a very low-end captain. She's an arroganty so-and-so. You know, she's the one at fault here. And then she basically undoes her order. And in doing so, everyone can now suddenly look up and win.
Yeah. Well, she goes to "You are Starfleet. This is the Cerritos. Do what you have to do to take back this ship." So there's a little bit of inspirational speech there, but
cut any corner, skip any steps.
Yeah,
it's a stupid
little time, people.
It's a stupid little moment. Like, I would rather her rally and say, "Guys, I was wrong. Mistake over. Now let's take back Cerritos. All punishments are forgiven." Because just seeing the doctor in there not shooting them, like, it just makes them look stupid. There's nothing smart here, and why the alien's not hitting them back? It doesn't. There's a real lack of something here, and because the episode is normally so good, you're just like, well, that's a problem.
Gmon78 puts in
Hey.
£5. I made my youngling click like on his account too. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
We're at 169. It's a great number, but 175 would be better. 6 people need to hit like. That'd be great.
I said 200. I mean, the Kirk crew is strong with this one.
We gotta move slowly.
It's true.
We need buffer room.
Oh, we get another view of the engineering room though.
Yes, a few actually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it definitely does. There's a nice sense of crew doing their bit. But you know, and they're defeating these ill-equipped opponents easily. But then it also made me think like they're also just beating up savages with painful equipment. Like a phaser's less painful in the long run than smashing a dude in the face.
Getting stunned is better than being smashed with a pad.
Like it's actually more horrible the way they're doing it. It kind of feels like, and the way there's that, but for me, a couple of extra shots, it feels like they're punishing them with like actual breaking their noses. Obviously, you can heal things quickly, but I wish there'd just been a sequence where you somehow see everyone run to phasers, grab them, start shooting. Maybe even 2 phasers per. The pads was unnecessary. Just as quick to get a phaser. I mean,
Danny Shields, €5.
Thank you.
Would be great to start the next episode with Shrax nudging someone and saying, "Sicko crystal lovers, am I right? We've got wood."
Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally see that. That'd be awesome.
Or in a later episode. I mean, I don't know how much canon they're going to use between episodes, but absolutely. That's such an obvious thing to bring back. Yeah.
Well, back to the arena. While they're fighting, he's like, he stops and says, "I demand a peaceful negotiation. I respect your sovereignty." And just going, so ethical.
It's dumb, but it's, you know, it does show
interlocked hands. Sorry.
It does show she likes the chain of command though. There's something in her that's just like, he is hot for following the rules while beating people up, you know?
Yeah. But then stop, I submit. I thought you only said Vindor. So the other guys think I'm strong and dumb, but I'm not. I love to read. And then the guy's like, "Yeah, well, you're all free. You're all free then. Fine, everybody's free."
That's great. It's a good Ragnarok riff. It shows they're honourable because they did, you know, often you expect them again just to say, "I'll kill them anyway." Yeah? And he beat him in legitimate combat, fair and square. Very good, clean ending that was earned.
The Mariner starts reaming him out for like, "Oh, you'll stab me, but you won't stab Vindor. What are your priorities, Ransom?" And he just scoops her up and walks off.
And you can tell she gets a bit jelly on the inside.
Yeah.
And it's subtext was like, "Yep, shirtless brave man. Yep, go for it."
And we got we got to stop doing this combat thing. We never win. Never get to use the geode. What about a regular trial with a judge? And they say, "Whoa, wait. We can do a death race. Start building a crystal car."
Oh, stupid, but I liked it.
Then they're back kicking people's asses and like, boom, slamming them into piles.
I guess the lack of sleep has not affected them now. Meh. Boy, when they drop basically boulders on the dude, I just thought, oh, they killed that guy. Like that one in particular was like they just destroyed his spine. Was that necessary? You could have phasered him. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. I mean, and it's nice again that they don't keep them as baddies. That, you know, an honest mistake was made. They didn't try and hurt anybody. You know, they got their licks in at the end as well. So yeah, you know, I mean, they made a treaty. The Federation. It was just one of those classic, you know, cultural differences. Misunderstanding. Happens. Yeah.
Sick bay. This scene's great. I love Mariner in this scene, but the doctor's like, "Do you want me to clean up those disgusting scars?" No way. These are my trophies. Congratulations. You look like a fucking scratch and post.
And there's a difference between beeping versus fucking.
Yes.
I am fine with this because he's not actually swearing.
I apologize.
But do you know what I mean? This subtle difference,
Yep.
I am fine with. It's barely a difference, but it is a difference. You know?
Yeah.
And how good does that sickbay look in that shot? Just the clean colours, the nice lights. It looks great.
It's good. Danny Shields, €10.
Yeah.
This episode was such a great way to use a different format to push the Federation ideal of inclusion and how it takes all kinds of people to get things done.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now we get the whole, before you file your report, give me a heads up. We need to move my free weights. There's a ton of them. And she's like, report for what? For stabbing you with the battle blade. That's a guaranteed court-martial. She's like, actually, I'm not going to file a report. You talk about yourself too much, but stabbing me, breaking protocol, that was actually pretty cool.
It was pretty hot, actually. Yeah. Pretty.
Well, she even says, sometimes I forget what Starfleet's all about. And today you reminded me.
Yep, good lesson for them both.
Yep. Plus, it's gonna make a great scar. Yeah. Or a good scar. He's like a great scar, and you think they're gonna kiss. And then he's like, "Yeah, take her away, boys." Because you ignored me when I ordered to roll down your sleeves. They're against code. And she's like, the sleeve thing? You're an idiot. And then, extra day in the brig. The brig's my favorite place, man. And then how she leaves, too. Next time, I'm going to let somebody kill you. I'm going to dance in your blood. And then at the end, just to top it off, he's like, okay, that was kind of hot.
No, she's like, that's scary but hot. Well, that was a bit far, but hot. And I like that she throws a bedpan. Was not expecting a bedpan. It's dumb, but I like it. And again, great LCOS again. Great colours. Yeah. And I noticed that they carefully made some of the props on the medical bays from Prometheus, from EMH Voyager. I noticed quite a few of them that are the same. So great job there replicating existing props because she throws them, breaks them. Yeah, I think that definitely the blood thing is too far. That makes her seem like a crazy bitch, basically. But the fact that he says it's hot makes it better.
Yeah.
But it's like, really? You're threatening to kill your subordinate or whatever, and it's like,
Superior, not subordinate.
Sorry, yes. But it would be kind of fun to start next week with her in the brig, like ending that session.
James McGill, $2.
Thank you.
Fun episode, but felt it's lessened what Starfleet is about. I disagree, but
some people, but at the end of the day, some of what they did was very idealistic, and it's a lesson as to show what Starfleet needs. Buffer time. If you take out buffer time, people go crazy and bad things happen. People need to work in their own way because they're professional enough to know. If you take that choice away from them, they burn out. Everything goes to shit. So it's actually a lesson as to why those times are important.
And the captain gives him the whole, learn seeing through the eyes of a child today.
I laughed. I was like, "Oh, what a comment, Jesus."
But yeah, instituting a new ship-wide mandate. We're calling it the Boimler effect, which I really wish the episode would have been called the Boimler effect instead of the Temporal Edict. But
yeah, that doesn't work as well.
He's like, really, I'm honored. And it's encouraging shortcuts and preventing people from just blindly following the rules. And he's like, if we're going to have something with my name on it, can it be how important it is to blindly follow the rules? It's not like it's not in the system, is it? It's not on in ink. Wow, it's on a plaque. Anyway.
I liked this in principle, although you can tell she's also trying to piss him off. Like, I get the subtext that she's annoyed that he's the one that worked out the problem. And it was her problem, it was her mistake. And so she's just like, oh, I know you're going to hate this. So I named it after you. Thanks. It's just a little bit of that. Like, she's not a very friendly person. You can tell. Yeah. This is whatever. But the way even she says, oh, encourage people to take shortcuts, I'm like, what are you talking about? The way she says it is like, you're a really shit captain, aren't you? Like, nothing she's saying is what you'd say. Like, do you think Picard would say that? Well, the best thing officers should do is take shortcuts, do the least work, and really do the least work. No, terrible speech, but I think she's kind of making fun of him as well. Punishing him. Not well written.
I didn't get that vibe, but
it's a stupid speech. Like, she's a better officer. She should be a better officer to know that's not what you do. Do you really think the people at the academy would say, so when you get on your Starfleet ship, take all the risks and don't do the job well? All the shortcuts. Or at least shortcuts the wrong word, you know?
Yeah.
Use your expert judgment. Don't take shortcuts. Shortcuts are always in work.
The Trembler, $2. Episode on Starfleet bedpans?
No.
Henchy, 2K7, $5.
Thank you.
To be honest, she would just let someone kill him, so she wasn't threatening him directly. LOL. And Danny Shields, €5. Montgomery Scott, visionary HR rep.
Okay.
True.
Yeah.
Ozzy Medeiros, $5.
Thank
This
you.
episode gets a 5.5 out of 10. Trekyards gets a 10 out of 10 with Foley buffer time. Okie dokie. Skeleton hands.
Yeah. But we'll get scores in a minute.
Yes. Yes. We're just doing the wrap up here where he's saying, I got a rule named after me, but it's a stupid rule that goes against everything I believe in. And
It's
like,
the opposite to Boimler.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You know, new rules all the time. It'll be soon forgotten about.
And I like the acting here. It's a good little scene. And
then we get the far future. Which is why the Boimler effect is something we will never forget. So named after the laziest, most corner-cutting officer in Starfleet history, Brad Boimler.
And that's not even his name, is it? He's not Brad, is he?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you got his name wrong too. Okay.
Oh. Seen here with one of the great birds of the galaxy. Anyway, let's move on to someone even more important, perhaps the most important person in Starfleet history, Chief Miles O'Brien. And it's worth pointing out here, we've got a Borg, we got a Ferengi, we got a Cardassian.
Yeah, where's the Cardassian? Because I don't see a Cardassian.
Oh, maybe we don't. Let's see.
No, two Ferengi. Same Ferengi, just moved slightly to one side. The same race as the Doctor, and then an Andorian. But yeah, ex-Borg here, which is a ballsy way of doing it. I mean, Seven can be unborged to some extent, and he still needs the arm. Unless
Why are they on their knees, though?
Yeah, I don't know. But but hey, holograms, and I'm fine with future holograms. I kind of like the panels as well. And although the pad has still got the delta, hey, same delta, so we know deltas don't change. And this is an interesting scene because far future, they're clearly well beyond, because they don't know his service record anymore. So it's at least 200, 300 years. We know the 29th century still exists, which is the time cops from relativity. So even if it's 300 years in the future, we're still before Discovery. I'm kind of hoping this is like post-Discovery, that this is because if Discovery is the far, far future, right? If this is the far, 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 far future, then we can undo Discovery's damage to the future by saying, oh, it's fine. After that, it all went well.
I wish, yeah.
That would have been really nice to do.
I get the feeling this is like 300 years in the future, though, not 900.
Yeah. But yeah, great bird of the galaxy. The way it's said such off the tongue, you don't dwell on it, and that's a good way of doing it. But it's a beautiful little reference. It's really sweet. And yeah, and just to clarify, when I saw this with O'Brien, I thought, why has he got a moustache? Because the shadowing is really obnoxious. If you see it from the other side of a room, he looks like he's got a moustache. But he doesn't.
Well, Luke Celeste puts in $5.
Thank you.
Ship plot 5 out of 10. Planet plot 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Canon wise 9.5 out of 10.
Oh, yes.
Trekyards 10 out of 10.
Hey.
And all hail O'Brien the Wise.
Yeah.
SWTX Chaser $5. All hail Chief O'Brien.
All hail Chief O'Brien and full power to the engines. Whatever that quote is.
Yeah. Kevin Scott 76 $2.
Hey.
Opening song and crew attack on ship.
Okay.
And Clay Williams, $5. I love that they use the real TNG uniform on O'Brien. I also love that he's not in his DS9 uniform. It's the TNG one, and he's behind a transporter console.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to mention that because he didn't become famous for being a transporter chief or the guy from Farpoint. He became famous for saving DS9 and the entire Alpha Quadrant. But no, how do we see him? At the station that we mock him for being at. He's at the joke station, and yes, TNG. It is hard to see, honestly, with the gold. If you pause it, you can see the right combat, right uniform, but it is hard to see. And to be fair, the lines of the uniform are too thick because they just kind of pop, like the Lodex ones kind of pop. But clearly, but it's and it's well, it's not as a hologram, but clearly, it's TNG. I kind of wish
hologram statue.
I kind of wish it looked more like Carl Meany I may have to pay him for his likeness or something, but you know it's trying to be O'Brien, but it doesn't look like O'Brien. You know, it's like the Batleth looks like a Batleth. The Disruptor looks like a Disruptor.
Yeah.
It's a Carl Meany-esque person. But yeah, TNG costume, boom, chicka boom. And yes, one of the most important officers in the entire Federation. And this is our first real hero character introduction. While it's obviously it's a joke, we've had ships, we've had references. He's right there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Not a visual reboot. He is right there. And a holographic statue. But he is right there. Cool. You know?
Danny Shields, €5.
Thank
Miles Edward O'Brien, the great Cardassian vole of the galaxy, 2 out of 10. Good tea, nice house, $5.
Thank you.
Funny that they used TNG O'Brien for the statue when he was just a transporter chief. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he could have beamed all the heroes of the flagship into space at any time.
In effect, he saved them every day. Yeah.
Jeff Jacobs, $2. I made it. Let's get that to Hundy.
Yes,
Make
please.
Jeff pay 8.5 out of 10. Dan Lakey,
Thank you.
€2 or £2. Sorry. Calypso and Living Witness are far future too.
They are. Very true.
Fleet Paw Swiftback, $2. 9 out of 10 for the show. 8 out of 10 of Trek. Best episode of Lower Decks so far.
Cool.
And Luke Celeste.
Well, Ron has a great comment. O'Brien is the ultimate Lower Decks hero.
Yeah, absolutely.
From that perspective, great point. Really well said. Yeah.
Luke Celeste, $5.
Thank you.
And all the kids are on their knees for some reason. Yeah, I thought that was stupid too.
Meditation-y. It's more Zen. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's futury. It's different-y, you know?
Yeah. Danny Shields, €5. His name is Cole Meany, Commander.
What did I say?
I have no idea. I thought you said Cole Meany.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But guys, thank you though. Now we're going to do our scores, and I would like to see another $35. That's what I'm looking at some numbers here, and that would really help us out. So $35, and we can see if we reach it. So that'd be great. How many likes are we at? 194. We want 200 likes. $35. Still 197 people watching. And if you can, as these great people have done, super chat your scores now. Both, we want to know directly your scores out of 10 and how this ranks compared to the other two. If it's your favourite, second favourite, least favourite. I want to get a sense of this. So super chat your scores. Stuart will read those. I'll read them on super chats. But like I say, $35 on super chats. Only 7 of you, 5. Go. But Stuart, give us your final review. And of course, has your thoughts changed? I've really dissected it like we do here on Trekyards.
Yeah, the thoughts haven't really changed that much. It's still my favorite of the 3 episodes. I get that some of the plot things for the aliens on the ship are kind of stupid, but you know, it's an animated show. I didn't expect, Oscar quality writing. It's fun. It was a fun ride. I really like the character development in this. Mariner and getting to know Ransom was really great. I hope that their relationship goes somewhere. I love that they're kind of putting me in my place, because I hated Mariner to start with, and now she's like my favorite character.
Not hated,
I just like she's the least liked out of all the crew.
There you go.
The cast for me.
Yeah.
Now she's definitely number 1. Tendi, who I was looking forward to coming into the show, is kind of fallen by the wayside, but I'm sure she's going to get her own episode later. Still got 7 to go, so that's fine.
Only 7, Stuart?
Only 7.
Oh.
The captain still is a bit of an idiot, and not sure how I feel about her. Not sure if she's a good captain. Well, no, she's not a good captain, but you know what I mean. Some really great shots of the ship in this episode, especially like a lot of those space scenes were just really nice. And the ship is really something that is appealing to me now, so that's cool. The reference for Chief O'Brien was great. The other little subtle references to the Megatu and things like that.
I didn't even get that because I didn't. Yeah, that was too subtle for me.
Yeah, just super great little things like that. So this one for me, it is going to get an 8 out of 10. I think I gave the first one a 9. But
yes, you did.
Didn't know what was going to be up with the show. I think I'm going to go back and change that. So, but yeah. As of right now, this is an 8 out of 10. It's not It's not perfect because of the little problem, and it's kind of just some stupid stuff there, but it's still really good.
Yeah, pretty much. And guys, still need another $25. If you can help us out, that would get us to a certain goal and some more likes as well. We're right almost there. Come on, click like. But yes, if my review, like I said, I walked out this one, it stopped and I sat down. I liked it. It was very different, and different is good because you're getting to learn the stuff. Certain characters focused, impressed me with the subvert expectations. But yes, it both has a very big, fully fleshed out plot, which beats last week, but it has much more stupid plot elements than either of the last two episodes. So it hurts itself, but also it's a more enjoyable ride. So like it has a higher high but a lower low, so which makes it hard to review. But again, you know, how many times in films you have a plot hole that's massive that you have to look past, especially animated, etc. They crammed. I'd rather have big crammed full episodes than like last week where it's a meandering non-story. So definitely I like it more in that way. Captain, like I said, lowered in my reputation a lot, but which is obviously presented that way. Second in command really did a good job. Even like someone called out, even the Doctor's doing well despite being barely on screen. She's got a unique sort of something to her, which I like, and not acting like I thought she was going to act. So good job for them as well. Tindy, non-character at the moment. Rutherford, fine. But you're definitely going to learn the ship, and they've obviously learned from Discovery and Picard, and even Enterprise to a good example. Characters first, you know? Well, story first, but characters are very, very close second. And it's very nice to see the characters given a good amount of time. That is how you're going to make the show unique, you know? If you don't care about the characters, then why did Enterprise feel a bit more vanilla? Because they were doing a lot of the TNG stories again, and the characters weren't good enough to make it unique. The characters are what gives you unique moments within stories. So yeah, it was pretty darn good. Highest highs, lowest lows, so it's really hard to review. And I was dreading this moment because I'm kind of like I didn't in my brain know where it was going to be. But given I'm looking at my scores and there's a natural middle point, I'm gonna have to go with the middle point. I gave episode 1 a 9. I'll give this one an 8 as well, and I gave last week a 7. I feel like that's fair. I think episode 1 had a better balance because nothing was that stupid, but less plot. But I saw past that, so I'll give it right in the middle. And wouldn't need much to be the best. And also a much worse cold opening that I would skip. You know, I would just ignore it because it just doesn't work for me personally. And I'd kind of rather that time go with the rest of the episode. But yeah. But all three are different, and I kind of like them being different. You know? And what was the next week on? Oh, they barely gave anything away again. Actually, you know what also helped? We were not excited for this episode because the last time on, or the next time on, it impressed me for how much they showed us. That was in the first 6 minutes, and then just moved past it. It was much more complicated, much more interesting, much more in depth than we thought. So all credit for them. Undersell us in the trailer and over deliver is a good way of doing it. And so I'm more excited now for next week because they proved the trailer wrong. So good job. All right, final super chats, guys.
Viren Victus, $2, 6 out of 10. Second best, not great, but okay. Olivia Julius, $5. I give this a 4.5 out of 5. Points off for lack of fertilizer.
Yeah.
That thing you can't find, $5. All hail Miles O'Brien, the only man in Starfleet history to be every rank and man every station.
Yeah.
James McGill, $2. Gift to awesome hosts of Trekyards, Tree of Gar. Dan Lakey, £2, 3 out of 10, but 9 out of 10 for last scene. Worst episode yet.
Okay.
Tenchi, 2K7, $5, 7 out of 10. Second best. First 3 episodes good, despite the Kurtzman name in the credits. Viren Victus again, $2. Broccoli would have been better than O'Brien, in my honest opinion. Yeah.
But you definitely need Barclay in it. I mean, if he doesn't cameo, I'm going on strike. You know, they need Reginald Barkley.
Samu Ray, $1 with a shit emoji.
But a happy shit.
Yes.
So, thank you.
The Trembler, $5, 7.75 out of 10. A and B plots, too different in quality to rank episode with others. That's usually the case, though, with Star Trek.
And in fact, the B plot was better than I thought it was going to be, and the A plot was worse than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Or, like, not as cool, which is unusual. Yeah.
Danny Shields, €5. My 1, 2, 3 is 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Character development over these episodes has been great.
Yep.
9 out of 10 for this one. More of the Legend of the Miles, please.
Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, given the timing, please have Boimler actually be serving under O'Brien at the Academy, because the timings would make sense. That'd be fun. I mean, if they like O'Brien that much, have him be in it. Yeah. Do it.
That Thing You Can't Find, $5, 7.5, or 7.5 out of 10. Kirk Fu, enough said.
Yeah.
Luke Celeste, $5. The fight between Ransom and Mariner feels like a Bones and Spock dilemma on the Empath, the animated series, season 3, episode 12. Yes, where they're fighting over who should suffer. Yeah.
And definitely more TOS feeling, that whole fight stuff, but not a rip off.
Yeah. Fleet Pod Swiftback, $5. I'll pay for 200 now that I've paid for it. We need to hit it. 198.
Oh.
And we have 166 people here, so we can get 2 more likes.
2 more.
2 or 4. I don't care. But 2 more likes.
2 more likes. And guys, we're only $10 away. I'll say it now. So, final super chats, chuck them in. And guys, do check out other videos as we'll do throughout the week, other lives and joining in, and some other things we've got. Bird of Prey coming tomorrow, and we have some unique thoughts on that. Do check it out. We're quite, the episode turned out pretty well. 200 likes, $1. Who wants to be the final super chat?
Fun will not commence at $1. So
that was off.
But yeah.
I saw that already. Final super chat. Thanks so much, guys. You guys are awesome. Definitely a good show to watch, and we hope that you're enjoying the Trekyards coverage. Definitely we're on the more positive side than a lot of the YouTube out there, but I hope you guys would agree. Fair. It's very important to me personally that we shouldn't just be blindly liking or disliking. What is the point? I think they're earning it, and hopefully we're earning your super chats and stuff. So final super chat, send us out on a bang. And then Stuart will go eat dinner, I guess. What's for dinner, Stuart?
No goddamn clue.
Oh, are you ordering in much these days, or are you cooking more?
They're ordering in a lot.
What's the best place to order in at the moment from?
Oh my god, I don't know. Everywhere's doing the skip the dishes, so lots of good places.
Yeah, I'm doing a weekend takeaways as a way of having something different over the weekend. So as the week passes, you go into the weekend, you get to look forward to a not cooking weekend.
That Thing You Can't Find puts in $5.
Yeah.
Hit the like button. Yes, we're at 203, so that's awesome. Thank you.
Do
guys.
it.
Michael Kellane puts in $8 Australian.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Nice.
And Jeff Jacobs, $2, 200. Nice job, chatters. # make Jeff pay.
What, Jeff made himself pay, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks to new members who joined at the start of the chat. And have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.